I am pleased to introduce our MC for today, Secretary of the Cabinet, Ms. Michele DiEmanuele.
Welcome. Your Honor, Premier, Mrs. Ford, Speaker, Ministers, Chief Hare, Brigadier General, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to say what a pleasure it is for me to be acting as your MC on this very special flag-raising ceremony to celebrate the coronation of His Majesty King Charles III and Her Majesty Queen Camilla. Thank you for joining us on this truly historic event, a first in over 7 decades. Today, we will raise the Canadian Coronation Emblem in celebration and support of our system of democratic parliamentary government. First, I'd like to begin by recognizing that we are on the traditional territory of many Indigenous nations, including the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat. This land is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. I would like to also acknowledge that the lands we are gathered on are covered by Treaty 13, signed with the Mississaugas of the Credit, and I want to show my and our respect. Hundreds of years after these first treaties were signed, they are still relevant today. Now, I'd like to welcome and invite members of the Red Bear Drummers to begin our ceremony with a traditional drumming circle. In Indigenous culture, the drum represents Mother Earth and the universal heartbeat. It facilitates the ability to listen to our souls so that we can understand our purpose and our connection to each other in the circle of life.
Ani makade makwa kwe dishnapas Toronto wikwamakong chiking and dochnaba magazine do dam dishnabe kwe now. Hello everyone. In Ojibwe, I said my spirit name is Black Bear Woman Who Runs in the Sky. I live in Toronto. My family comes from Chiking and Wikwamakong on Manitoulin Islands, and I'm Eagle Clan and I'm Ojibwe. So here we have the Red Bear Singers, and these singers are made out of residential school survivors, 60 Scoop survivors, day school survivors, as well as intergenerational survivors. And we come together and sing for healing for our community and our children and the grandchildren for the 7th generation. So we're going to sing a morning song to open up the event. Miigwech.
Canadian Coronation Emblem, I'd like to take a moment to share the symbolism and meaning of its design. The royal monogram in the center of the emblem and the royal crown at the top are personal symbols of the king. The string of 13 pennants represents Canada's provinces and territories, and their circular arrangement conveys the idea of inclusion for all Canadians. The circle is also an important concept for many Indigenous people, symbolizing not only equity, but also the cycles of the natural world. The green color of the shapes is associated with the environment, which has long been an important cause for His Majesty and symbolizes hope and growth. Inclusion and togetherness are represented by the white spaces between the green shapes, which resemble paths leading to a central meeting place. The entire white space can be seen as a sunburst, symbolizing innovation and new ideas. Now, I would like to welcome the mass band of the 32nd Canadian Brigade Group of the 4th Canadian Division. The band will play the Royal Anthem in honor of His Majesty, King Charles III, as the Canadian Coronation Emblem is raised. Following the Royal Anthem, you will hear the guns of the 7th Toronto Regiment Royal Canadian Artillery as they fire a 21-gun salute.
Andre.
I would now like to invite the Honourable Elizabeth Dowdeswell, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario, and the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, to come forward and present the Sovereign's Medal for Volunteers to our extraordinary Ontario recipients. Ladies and gentlemen, I will now ask our first recipient to come forward, Colonel Donald Cranston. Since 1984, Donald has played an active role in a variety of organizations, from educational institutions to historic military landmarks. His fundraising efforts and executive leadership have supported youth initiatives in sport and music and have preserved and revitalized historic military landmarks. Your Honor, Premier Colonel Donald Cranston. Next, I would like to call upon David Evershed. With 25 international assignments over the last 18 years to his credit, David has contributed tremendously to the growth of Canadian Executive Service Organization. In addition to supporting internal volunteer outreach and recruitment strategies, he has worked with partners in Africa and Eastern Europe, as well as in Indigenous communities across Canada, to strengthen the success and capacity of partner organizations. Your Honor, Premier David Evershed. Our next recipient is Teresa Grabowski. As a founder of Challenge League Sport, Teresa has been providing people with special needs the opportunity to participate in team sports since 1994. Under her leadership and direction, the organization has grown from a single summer baseball team to a year-round initiative offering baseball, soccer, and basketball to a wide range of athletes from ages 10 to 65. Your Honor, Premier Teresa Grabowski. Our next recipient is Dr. Dahlia Carroll. As an undergrad student at Queen's University, then as a medical student at the University of Ottawa, and now a resident physician in obstetrics and gynecology, Dr. Dahlia Carroll has made it a priority for her to volunteer. She is passionate about helping children and has volunteered as a camp counselor at Camp Uchigeas for children with cancer and with the organization Save a Child's Heart as an intern, fundraiser, and now board member. She is also involved with public health outreach to elementary school students. Your Honor, Premier Dr. Dahlia Carroll. Our last recipient today is Sharmila Setaram. For over 20 years, Sharmila has been working to protect and promote human rights, as well as to increase the participation of Canadian women and non-binary individuals in politics through her involvement with Amnesty International and Equal Voice. Her contributions have helped to enhance many of Amnesty International's programs and have provided leadership opportunities in politics and politics with youth involved. Your Honor, Premier Sharmila Setaram.